I'm Maria Christine, and in this video I'm going to show you how to create a website with GroovePages, which is part of the suite of online business tools of GrooveFunnels. So when you go to GroovePages, this is the website builder of GrooveFunnels, and with a free account you will be able to create 3 websites or funnels. And to do that, you just go to new site. You can go to free and you will see all the free single pages. You can select a whole website. You can use a funnel and you have 4 funnels. But we are going to start with a blank page. So if you would have pulled in a funnel, you would find it here under the funnels. If you would have pulled in a website, you will find it here. But we just have a blank template. And now we can drag in different blocks, and you can choose if you want to have already designed blocks. So that would be blocks that already have like colors and images. And then you have direct response blocks for direct response marketers. So they have stronger colors and everything pops a little bit more. This is what works in marketing. But you can also use blocks that are not designed. These are just wireframes. They don't have any background color. They don't have background images. So we are going to use the design blocks, and we are going to start with a navigation menu. Then I will choose a header. And then an about section. So I can just copy this one, and when you go to the blog, you can copy it here. And then you can use these arrows to put it down. So now it jumped under the courses block. And to create a new page, you can either use this plus or you can just copy this one. You just go to clone to this page, and I want to have it on a primary navigation. And now we need to change the name of the page and the URL. So it's going now to index copy, and you can edit the settings here. So you can give it a new name. And we will name this one courses. So we edit the settings again and we put in courses. And we also change the URL. So we say this one should be the main domain, then slash and courses. And you see it changed here. And you can see all the 3 pages now in the navigation menu, and every page that you will put in the first section will appear here and will be visible. And as soon as you put it down, you can see that it disappears from the navigation menu. So if you push this one a little bit to the right, it becomes a sub menu. So then you see that you will find it under the about section. So the button should say start here. So I'm just going to change the text of the button. And now we need another page where the button should link to. So what we are going to do now is we are going to create the other pages. So now we have the 3 pages that we want to have in the top navigation menu, and we have 5 more pages, and the first one start here will be linked to the button, and the other 4 pages will go in the footer. And a problem that we have right now is that all the pages that are in the navigation menu are also in the footer. So what we need to do now is we need to click on the whole box, and then we need to go to configure, and we will exclude these 3 pages from the navigation menu. So we select all of them, and we are going to put in external links. So we wanted to have 4 pages. That means that we need 4 links, and now we need to label them. Privacy policy will link to a page, and now I'm going to select the page. Now we update everything, and now you can see that the footer menu changed. So now we are done with the basic structure. And the problem that you can see is that the button text didn't change here, it just changed here. And that is because we made copies of this whole website and of the navigation menu. We don't want every time we change something here, go into all the other navigation menus and change it there too. So we will create a master navigation menu. So we want to have, let's say, a different background, and this background should be transparent. This is without a color. Then we want a specific button color. So we're going to put a yellow background, and now we will save this whole blog, and I can either save it under my navigation bar category or I can create a new one. And I am usually having like my own category from my saved blogs or favorite blogs, and I'm going to put it in my saved blogs. And now that it's saved, you can go to the next page, then go to the blogs, and you can see this is the blue one that I just created, and I can drag it here and delete the other one. So this is how you adjust the navigation bar, and we will do the same thing with the footers. We can save it in our footers or in our saved blocks. And now I can go to the main page and I can choose the footer that I saved and delete the other one. And we save the page. And now let's start adjusting the page. So first of all, I will put in my logo. And for that, you just click on the image, go to configure, and then you choose an image. And then you need to click here to upload the image. And if you have a logo, but you haven't removed the background yet, you can just go to remove BG. And then you can drag it in and then it will remove the background. So I have here a white one with a white background. So we choose this one and now you can see it here, but we still need to update it. And if you want to link your logo to maybe some homepage, you can choose here either a page or you can choose URL and put in the URL. And the image is a little bit small, so I'm going to increase the size and you just go to size and then you can increase it here. Then I want to have the background white. And I will take my branding color. So I prepared a mood board and you can just take the hex code and you select the whole bar. Then I go to color and then I can paste my color here. And now I want to decrease the font size a little bit. So you can just click here or you can click on one of these and then choose the bigger element. So now I have the whole bar selected. Then you go to size and then I reduce it a little bit. And I think I can increase the logo size a little bit more. I'm going to save it. And now I want to have less space here between the text and the borders. And I can see that the space is coming from the padding of the bigger box. So I just go in, I click on both, and then I can size both at once. So I'm going to lower the space to 17. And now I need to make sure to save it again in the saved blocks. And now I can go to the other pages, then to my saved blocks. And this is the new one. And delete the old one. So there's another way to create the same styles in all the navigation bars, and it's by going to the global style, but that doesn't always work. So if you want to save this as a global style, then you should be able to go to another page, choose the block and go to global style, and then choose the global style you created, but it's not working yet. Right now, the best way to create the same navigation bar on every page is just to save your block as a favorite block, then go to blocks and drag it in. So now I'm going to adjust the content of the page. The first section will be a lead magnet. The second one will be an explanation of the Dream Life Heroes. Then I will have some courses and then an About Me section. Let's start with the lead magnet page. And if we want to change, for example, the size of this image and make it a little bit smaller, we can either take a percentage like that, or we can choose the container and change the size of the container. And if you want to have the image in the middle of the container, you need to go to the container box and then you go to the layout. So now you see that it went to the middle. And another thing that you can do, if you want to have this image, for example, just take 50% of the page, you can go to the elements and add certain elements to the website. So let's say we want to add 2 columns that are at 50%. Like that. Now we can go to the image and we can drag it in. So now you see that the image is in this element. And in that case, you cannot move the whole container because you see that it doesn't have like this thing here. So you need to move every element separately. And you see that you have here 2 elements next to each other. So these are also 2 containers, which means that you need to add again a container element like this one. And now you can move every one separately. And then you can delete that one. So you see that you can take the list icons, but you cannot take the whole box. And you see that the button will always take the size of the full box. So when we go back, you can see that it is in a container. So we can do the same here. And then we can adjust the size of the container. So I have put in a separate container and now I can put it here. And now we can adjust the size of the container. like that. And if you want to center it, you can see that if you click on the button, you cannot choose a center position. So you always need to go to the next bigger container, which is this one. And now we go to layout again. And here you can see that you can center all the content that is in the container. So we can center it like that. And we need to put some space between the headline and the content. And you can either choose the headline container, or you could choose the container that's around the whole content, which would be this one. And then you can go to spacing and you can put in some margin like that. And you can save it. So now you have the 50-50%. And I think this one would look better on the left side. So we go again to this box, to the layout, and we put it on the left side. And now I'm going to put in the headline for my lead magnet. And I think the headline could have a little bit space on the left and on the right side. So I'm going to the spacing like that. And now I'm going to choose the image. So you can go to configure and choose an image, and you can either upload an image or you can use the free stock photos database and search for things like, for example, beach, and you can see all the images that you can use. So whatever image you need, Groove is using a huge database of free images, and I'm going to use a beach image and I need to update it. And when you want to change the text on a button, you need to go to the button and then to configure. So I'm going to change it here. Then I'm going to update it. And then I can change the background. So I can select the block, I can go to the background, and now I can choose my branding color. So let's see how it looks like. So again, put in the hex code here. I think it could be a little bit darker. Let's try another one. And then I need to adjust the color of the text. And there are actually 3 other things that I wanted to show you. So first of all, if you click on this section, there are different layers and there's a hierarchy. So the layer at the bottom would be an image or a video layer, and you can put a pattern over this video or image, and you could even put in a color and also make it partly transparent so that you can see the image below. And we will do that here. So I'm going to delete this image and we are going to choose, let's say, this one. And now we want to put in a pattern on top of that. So we can select a pattern. And now we can decrease the opacity so that it gets transparent and that you see the image behind that. And you can choose the color. And if you want to take the pattern out, you just go to select pattern and you can choose a color on top of that. And then you could increase the transparency so that you still see the image that's behind it. And the second thing I wanted to show you is how to change the button color if you hover over it. So you just choose the hover effect, then you go to background and you can choose, for example, a green color, and now you can check it. This is the normal color that it would have, and if you hover over it, it will change to the color that you chose. And when you are finished with the whole page, you need to check if the page looks good on all devices. And you can see that we already have some things that we need to fix. And what you can do now is you can switch off this toggle, because if it's switched on, every change that you will make will appear on the other sizes too. That's why we need to take this out. So now you're just changing the appearance on the phone. And what we will do is we will go to spacing. And we will change the spacing so that it looks good. Now we could take away a little bit of the padding here above. And this one has also too much space around. So again, we take this one and we lower it. And we also need to take away the padding on the sides. Now we are going to adjust the other things that look a little bit off. So I cannot find the box where the padding is coming from. But what I can do is I can choose this box and I can change the layout. So that's just a kind of workaround. And here's too much padding. So the rest looks good. And now I need to do the same thing with all the other devices. And here I could also change the text size a little bit. And let's center the image. And that's how you would go through the different devices. And when you're finally happy with the result, you just switch that on so that all the changes that you make appear in all devices. So now we need to adjust the other pages and prepare the text for the privacy policy, for the terms, for the disclaimer, and for the contact page. And that's what I'm going to do now. So I added the legal pages. You can see that here are the 3 legal pages that I put in the footer. And then I have a page where I want to link this Start Here button to. So on the home page, I added this mockup for my online business starter kit, and I used the free software to create that. And if you want to know how to do that, just leave me a comment below this video and I will create a separate video on that. So I adjusted the colors and I made this corners ground, which you can do when you go to borders, and then you choose here the border. This is 0.5. Then I adjusted the background, so I've put in an image in the background and a color on top of that, and I gave it a certain transparency, so you can make it more or less transparent. I think like that is okay. And what I also chose is, you can see that when I scroll, the image stays on the same place. This is called parallax effect, and you can do that by clicking this parallax box, and when I take that out, you can see that the image scrolls with the whole background. So I like this effect, so that's why I will leave it. So I adjusted the images, the text, the footer, the links, and now we are going to publish this on my own domain. I moved the page to my paid account, or let's say I recreated it in my paid account. You have in both accounts the same functions. The only difference is that with a free account, you cannot use these subdomains of GroovePages. But I think most of us will choose their own domains. So you go to your domain, and these are all the domains that I have added to my account, and this is the domain that I want to connect to my website, but I want to show you how to do it from scratch, so I will just delete this one. And now I need to go to my domain registrar. So I bought my domain at Namecheap, and when I go to my domain list, to manage, and then to DNS records, I need to choose custom DNS, and now I need to add the DNS that I will get here from Groove. So I will choose the full domain setup, and now I need to put in the address. Okay, that's always the problem with the space here, so you're not allowed to have a space. And these are the 2 DNS records that I need to add now to my Namecheap account. So it needs a little bit time until the traffic is redirected, so we can check if it worked. And now you can choose which apps you want to connect to this domain. So you can see that I connected 3 apps to this domain, and you can see which app got the main domain here because it has like a red underscore. So I like to have my root domain always with GroovePages because I like to have a home page connected to the root domain. And for something like a members area or a course, I like to use subdomains as well as for all the products. So I will connect this root domain to GroovePages, and now I can go to the website and connect the website to the domain. So if you have an issue with publishing one of your pages to a custom domain, you always need to get back to this area and you need to add your custom domain first here. And then you need to connect it to the Groove app that you want to use this domain with. So when you create a home page with GroovePages, you need to choose this one. And then you go to the page, and now you can choose the custom domain, and now you can select the domain here. So you won't see your custom domain here unless you connected the domain to the app GroovePages. So we are going to choose the Dream Life Heroes, and I would choose to publish it on the root domain. So I want to have it on the main domain, and now I'm going to publish the whole website. And if you want to check if your website is live, you just go here and it opens up in a new tab, and you can see that it worked. So this is how you create a website with GroovePages. And the next thing I need to do is I need to create an opt-in page for the free offer. Then I need to create a product and a product page for the online business starter kit. And finally, I need to create another opt-in page for the waitlist for my course. And in the next video, I'm going to show you how to create an opt-in page, which I will then link to this button. So thanks for watching and see you in the next video.